You're watching Study with Sudhir. This is your digital classroom, the classroom with a difference, a classroom where we focus on the development of the personality of every student, and we also involve their parents and teachers. So this video is not about your exams or about your syllabus. So अगर आप exams के बारे में जानकारी के लिए आए हैं या अपने syllabus के बारे में जानकारी के लिए आए हैं, तो ये वीडियो आपके लिए बिल्कुल नहीं है. However, I would want you to watch this video, and not just students but also parents and teachers, because this is a video about all of us. Now, this gentleman whose photograph I have put on the screen behind me, his name is Alfie Kohn. Now, he's an American author in the field of education and parenting, a very acclaimed author, and he wrote an important book whose title was The Myth of the Spoiled Child. This is the book that he had written, Alfie Kohn, author of The Homework Myth and Unconditional Parenting. That's one of his bestsellers. And this is the book, The Myth of the Spoiled Child. Now, I was reading about it and I found certain aspects of it very interesting, which I want to talk about in this video. As I said, this video on this channel is basically an attempt to go beyond just the examinations and the syllabus. A couple of important points, short video. Now, Alfie Kohn wrote about how when we set children, listen to this carefully, when we set children against one another in different contests. Now, it could be a book reading competition, it could be a science fair, it could be a painting competition, it could be a spell bee competition. What we do is to teach the children to confuse excellence with winning. Understand? We teach children to confuse excellence, to mistake excellence with winning. कि अगर आप जीत जाएं, it means you are excellent, you are the best, right? But there is a difference. There is a difference, and that's what Alfie Kohn has spoken about in this particular book. Now, what that does is to tell the children that the only way to do well in life is by outdoing others. Understand? By outdoing others, you can be better, you can be best. Right? You are not necessarily becoming a better version of yourself. You are only better than the others, and that's an important point. Each one of us as parents, as teachers, as students need to be aware of. What we do as parents and teachers is to encourage children to measure their own value, and that's what Kohn speaks about in this particular book. I quite like this very gentle look of this gentleman. So we encourage children to measure their own value, the value of each child, in terms of how many people they have actually beaten, right? And that's not exactly the best attitude, and I will tell you why it's not the best attitude. Because later on in life, when they enter a profession, we suddenly expect these people to become great team people. But if you have spent all your childhood, all your growing up, all your adolescent years only trying to beat other people, and suddenly you say that no, now you have to work together as a team, sorry, that mindset will not change. The mindset is that I need to be better than him. Suddenly, how will 1 + 1 become 2? I always thought that, my 1 was better than his 1. Right? So the mindset has to change, and that change has to come from childhood, from the growing up years, from the teenage years, right? Cole writes very effectively, and let me quote, we invite them to see their peers as in colleagues, close friends, classmates, etc., not as potential friends or collaborators, which is very important in their professional life, but as obstacles to their own success. We see the other person, A sees B as an obstacle. If he this thing, then Mera success will not be assured. We don't look at others as collaborators, as people who we can work closely with. We teach children to regard whatever they are doing as a means to an end for themselves, right? We teach them that the point is not to paint or to read or design a science experiment, but only to win. And that's also the problem with our entire examination process. Our entire thing is geared towards marks. Instead of focusing on the process as to how I actually became better by reading about this particular concept. That's the dharma of SWS. That's what we try to inculcate and focus on in particular, apart from the examinations. So what happens is that the act of painting, he writes, act of painting, reading, designing, etc., the child devalues it. He doesn't give it much value to painting or to reading a book, right? Uh, he's not so much excited, he or she is not so much excited about the experience of painting as he is about beating 9 other people to win the first prize. There is a difference, and that's what we need to be conscious of. So my request, submission to all students is, take up leadership roles, right? But when you take up a leadership role, develop empathy for everyone. Be a good team person, that you take everyone along. A and B are not in competition with C and D. A, B, C, D together can make a language, right? That's the beauty, right? If A and B have nothing to do with each other, sorry, then A and B cannot come together to form A.B. de Villiers or Amitabh Bachchan, right? That's the beauty of collaboration. So we all need to be collaborators and not only look at, how to win every race, right? The relay race is so important, where the first runner is as important as the person who finishes the race, the fourth runner, right? How you pass the baton is very important. The technique is very important. That's what the focus should be, to work together as a team. All the 11 members on the cricket field or on the hockey field are equally important, right? Even the coach, the manager who is outside the cricket field or the hockey turf, right? In fact, on the 19th of December, what we started as part of the Ashwin 22 course is an SWS Sunday Speaking Club. Now, what is it? This is not part of the course, but basically the idea is to encourage public speaking, because this is a craft which is so important in your personal and professional life, to be able to articulate a point of view effectively, right? And to be able to convince the other person of your point of view, right? So we have started this, the response has been very encouraging, and we do hope that we will make this a regular practice, so that beyond examinations, beyond syllabus, beyond curriculum, we can actually, SWS can play a role in the overall development of the personality of every child who's associated with our platform. And I do hope, and I'm very confident in fact, that all those students are going to grow up to be wonderful adults who are going to be successful within course, because successful is also a very subjective kind of term, but they will end up doing a lot of good for the country and for humanity in general. And that's something which is our mission, that's our intention, that's our aim. I do hope you found this video interesting, slightly hatke video, but these are the kind of topics that are very close to my heart. Thank you very much for watching.